The government is supposed to be here to protect the people of Ireland, not tax us out of existence. And it's in their remit to fix it. But everything is, it'll take a week, it'll take 2 weeks, it'll take 3 weeks. This hasn't happened today. What am I going to say to you? We told you this would happen, and now it's happened. Last November, I brought a truck in here to highlight the problems that we were having with fuel. Every media coverage covered it. Now, we are now going to see what's now going to happen. I had contractors on the phone to me this morning, last night, that they're getting 500 litres for a tractor, and now the government want them to set wheat and corn in this country. There's no fuel for them to do it now. And this was brought to everyone's attention here. And what did they do? The backbenchers in Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, nothing done. The opposition, after they voted for carbon tax, now joined us and said to us, oh, we got it wrong, we now want it stopped. But this was highlighted, lads, 6 months ago. And what has been done? Nothing. The government told us that they couldn't touch the excise duty. And now, they told us yesterday, we can. They said it's harder work to do the VAT, but we can do the excise duty. At €2 for petrol at the moment, the government is now taking €1.45 a litre. At €2. In diesel, they're taking 91.06. In tax, the government is supposed to be here to protect the people of Ireland, not tax us out of existence. And it's in their remit to fix it. It's in their remit. They can actually stand up now and do it. But everything is, it'll take a week, it'll take 2 weeks, it'll take 3 weeks. This hasn't happened today. Ever since I was elected as a TD here for representing County Limerick, I've been highlighting it because I'm on the ground. I'm self-employed. I know what's happening on the ground. I'm from a farming background. I know agriculture. I know business. I know building. This has been happening. The rural independents have highlighted these issues. And we were voted down on the Dáil, humiliated in some cases where we got 9 and 10 votes. But now people realise it's the truth. And it's going to happen that our shelves are going to go empty because we do not now have the resources to plant the country with the corn. Now the government closed down farming. What not to do is let's import everything. We are a dot on the backside of Europe. And when something happens in the world, we're the last ones to be thought of. And now the government say, oh, we want farming now to come with us after it's over-regulated and tried to close us down. Government, wake up. 2 years it's been highlighted. Now wake up.
To hear people coming on with crocodile tears saying, oh, this is awful, and people are finding it difficult, they're finding it difficult because of the policies of Fine Gael, the Greens, and Fianna Fáil. We have to look at what they're going to do in the month of May. While they might be saying today, oh, well, no, we will look at the excise. At the same time, they're saying they're going to increase it again in May. Like, where is the common sense in all of this? Where is the grounding whereby the government will be able to realise that, my God, it's gone over €2, and like for the first time ever, diesel and petrol are virtually at the same price now at the pumps. So today is actually a historical day in the majority of petrol stations in Ireland. It's either creeped up to or gone beyond €2 a litre. That is unsustainable. And people now are saying, I can't afford to travel to go to my job. I can't. Like they're thinking about the cost of travel now in a way they never did before. And like it's really, really worrying when we see the price of a home heating oil. And how do you tell a pensioner? How do you tell a person that's on disabilities? How do you tell a low-income family that, oh, well, just find out, tear out the floor of our house and put in underfloor heating because the Green Party and Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael think that's great. If you can't afford to do it, when they're talking about the retrofitting grant, like, oh yes, it's great, we'll give you €25,000, but you must spend 65,000. What about if you don't have €65? How do you manage? And this is the problem that the government they're not recognising the situation that people are having to live with. People are only trying to exist, and they're being priced out of existence. And like, what's wrong with the government is they hate admitting they're wrong, but they were wrong. They closed down Tarbert. They closed down Moneypoint. They had to open them because if they didn't open them, we mightn't have lights on inside here tonight. And this is how stupid their failed policies are. They're telling people, oh, you can't go to the bog and cut turf. You shouldn't be burning timber because you should be using renewables. What about if you can't afford to use them? And they're not just not supported, they're actively campaigning against it. That is what they're actually doing, which is frightening. So what they're going to do is they're going to isolate us. We're an island country. They're ensuring that we can't drill off the coast. They don't want people to go to the bog. They don't want people to cut down a tree. They want us all to rely on electricity that they're failing to give us any continuity or surety of supply of. We can't rely on England. We can't rely on France because we can see what will happen with the prices. It'll just go up and up. The price of electricity at the moment is frightening and people are really, really suffering. And the only crowd that I can really see that are standing up inside the Dáil and saying anything about it is the rural independent group. Because show me, like we have other people in the opposition. And what they kept saying to the government was, oh, you're not going far enough, fast enough. In other words, you're not screwing enough out of the people than what you're screwing out of them already. And like that is what they're doing. And like this government, I've seen every type of crowd come and go, but I've never seen a crowd to be so consumed by such a small group, that is Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, that sold their souls, sold their hearts and sold out their electorate to the Green Party. And we've seen now what the Green Party are doing for us. Nothing. Only they're hurting every individual in this country right now, but in particularly low-income families, older people and people with disabilities.
Other countries in Europe have listened to their people, to their constituencies, and they have reduced their tax take, and that's all we're asking Micheál Martin and Leo and the Greens. They have to see common sense, because if they don't do something in the next few days, and we heard them saying last night, they gave some journalist some bit of a story that they were going to examine it in the coming months. God damn it, lads. They have to wake up. The coming months has to be now. Where is the breaking point?
My role as a politician was to help people when I was elected to Dáil Éireann, to help the public, not to scourge or crucify the public. And this government has done nothing short of scourge and crucify the ordinary man and woman in this country. And listen to every radio station yesterday, you flicking one station to station. Fuel. Something that we were talking about for the last 4 months or 5, because we knew it was going to be a crisis, because we knew the Greens were wagging the tail of this government and no one could open their mouth. And unfortunately, we've walked ourselves into a crisis thanks to the Green Party, aided and abetted by Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. And as I say, I'm asking now the councillors to come up and wake up the Fine Gael councillors and Fianna Fáil councillors and make your TDs accountable in here.
It's not only government, opposition parties as well, Sinn Féin and others, and Labour, they all don't seem to worry about this. They're wringing their hands then when the price of fuel is increasing. It's shocking to see the pumps last night as we approached Dublin, almost €2. One was actually over €2 for a litre of diesel. So EU, I had Michael McGrath this morning on saying that he's seeking permission from the EU. Sweden and Poland and other countries have taken evasive action, and we don't have to get any permission from the EU to cut the excise duty and cut the tax on petrol and diesel. And places like Canada are a fraction of what we're paying. So we're now depending on Russia for 40% of our fuel at a cost of $1 billion per day. We know what's going on out in Russia. We condemn it from the bottom of our hearts, and we know what's going on, you know, and the impact that's going to have. Anyone could see this is going to have a huge impact. So our policies are utterly foolish. We've been left like the emperor now with no clothes. I asked the Taoiseach some weeks ago about how much we had in storage. I got no answer. Simple question, no answer. We don't know. They tell us we have plenty of oil, yet if you want to order home heating oil today, you only get 500 litres. So we're in a very perilous situation. And it's time the government took action. It's not time, it's old time. Should have happened months ago. These green and carbon tax charges are just an anathema to the people, and they must be scrapped. Thank you.
It's like a wedding. You can't go unless you're not asked. We weren't asked to the wedding. They didn't want us because they said they'd manage fine without us. Do you know the funny thing about it is what they're doing now is they're pressing the self-destruct button, because none of them will be heard or seen of again after this, because they'll never ever be forgiven or forgotten for what they've done to the people now.